Breaking news, guys. Tonight out of Washington, D.C., President Trump's Department of Justice has just made its most aggressive move yet, guys. And this time, Walmart is in their crosshairs. Can you believe this? As tariff prices are skyrocketing, families across the country, they're already feeling the heat at the checkout line, right? But now the DOJ wants to know, is America's largest retailer secretly cashing in while blaming tariffs? Wow. And wait until you hear what President Trump just posted in response. You're going to want to see it for yourself. So in today's video, we're going to go ahead and expose how corporate giants like Walmart may be using inflation as a smokescreen in order to jack up prices on everything and maximize profits, not just imports, and how President Trump's DOJ is stepping in before it's too late. If you guys appreciate President Trump and what he's doing already, drop a 47 in the comments down below, guys. You're going to see exactly what Walmart's CFO just admitted on national television, how their price hike strategy could ripple across every product in your home, and why DOJ insiders are calling this the biggest corporate shakeup since big tech. Now, if you think Walmart's getting over on folks, just drop the word cheating in the comments down below. But if you think that Walmart's, playing safe and not trying to get over on people and they're just doing honest, good business, just type in good business. I want to see what people are thinking about how Walmart is operating. Guys, look in the comments and see what people are putting. Let's see where people are, what people think about Walmart right now. But here's the kicker. It's not just Walmart. It's Apple, Amazon, Target, even your pharmacy. They're all in on it. But now with President Trump back in control, the game has changed, and corporate America, they are on notice. So stay tuned, guys, because over the next few minutes, we're going to be breaking down who is profiting, who's panicking, and how the DOJ investigation could straight up blow the lid off of this entire economic scam that affects every single American. If you guys appreciate the updates, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Guys, this is more than just tariffs. This is about accountability. And of course, the countdown to price shock is starting already. So I don't know if you know, but I'm going to let you know, less than a week ago, President Trump's newly structured Department of Justice, they made headlines when it appointed Ed Martin as the official DOJ pardon attorney. Now, you might be thinking, hey, what does a pardon attorney have to do with Walmart and tariffs, right? That's exactly what makes this so brilliant, okay? You see, Ed Martin isn't your typical DC bureaucrat. This is a Trump loyalist with a long track record of blowing the whistle on government overreach and corporate elite corruption, really. I mean, he was brought in not to just rubber stamp like old cases, but to go on offense. And his first act, a declaration that the DOJ will not tolerate abuse of executive power, whether it comes from the White House or from boardrooms of America's largest corporations. So this brings us to what happened next. This is a rather stunning pivot that no one saw coming. And according to the DOJ insiders, President Trump expanded Ed Martin's scope to go way beyond these presidential pardons. And he wanted him to start looking into how corporate giants may be exploiting national crises for massive profit. And right at the top of the list, Walmart. The DOJ is now laser focused on whether companies like Walmart are using tariffs as a convenient excuse to raise prices far beyond what's actually justified, while blaming inflation and hoping you don't ask questions. Now, what do you guys think about that, right? Do you think that this is happening? Can you name any companies you think might be raising their prices, blaming inflation, even though they really haven't been impacted by it? Let me know, guys. So the working theory, tariff inflation is real, but also being used as a cover for corporate greed. And with, Walmart controlling nearly 25% of U.S. grocery and household spending, this isn't just about business. This is about survival for millions of Americans. Comment down below if you shop at Walmart. Matter of fact, comment down below if you refuse to shop at Walmart. Well, if what the DOJ sources suspect is true, Walmart won't be the last to get hit. So get this, guys. Just as the DOJ is opening their case, Walmart's top executive went on live television and confirmed everything. They're raising prices, and they say that they have no choice to do it. But is that really true? Is Walmart telling the truth here, guys? Well, stick with me because what Walmart's CFO just admitted on camera may be the smoking gun that Trump's DOJ needed, but we're going to break that down in just a second. Some blessings come in the form of good information, and this one came straight from the broadcast. So this comment came in from my gospel favorites one. She says, through your broadcast, I learned about Chapter. They helped me and my husband saving or giving back $174 of our $185 Medicare. Thanks, Ron and Chapter. Wow. Like, that just makes me feel so good. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But, you know, when the system overcharges, Chapter steps in to make things right. And I love that. They compare every Medicare plan available. They're helping people like you keep your doctor and uncover savings that you don't even know that you were missing. And I think that is phenomenal, especially in this economic environment. So give our friends over at Chapter a call right now and see how much they can save you or your mom or your grandparents on Medicare. You can reach them online at askchapter.org/Ron, or if you prefer to call them on the phone, their number is 909-563-8279. The help is here and it's real. So anyway, shout out to my gospel favorites one for leaving me that comment. I appreciate it. And as a matter of fact, the next person, if anyone else is saving money from Chapter, leave me a comment. I might shout you out too. So here's where things really get to heat up here. The DOJ is officially scrutinizing Walmart, not just for raising prices, but for potentially abusing public trust. Sources very close to the investigation are saying that they're looking into whether Walmart's price increases actually reflect the true cost of tariffs, or whether they're essentially just a calculated move in order to boost their profits under the illusion of inflation. In plain English, is Walmart using tariffs as a smokescreen to price gouge or to be greedy? That's the question. And so now the DOJ isn't accusing yet, right? But they are investigating. And they made it very clear. If corporations are manipulating the public using inflation panic, then there will be consequences. And when you look at the timing of Walmart's announcements, the patterns and the categories impacted, it's raising some eyebrows inside the DOJ. And just when this theory couldn't get any bigger, Walmart dropped the bombshell. On national television, Walmart's chief financial officer confirmed what millions feared. They're raising prices, and fast. His exact words, it's unavoidable. When you've got 30% tariffs on certain categories, you're going to see prices go up. But what products are they talking about exactly? Well, listen to the list. Electronics, toys, vacuum cleaners, baby strollers and car seats, furniture. Now, that's not luxury spending. That's family essentials, is it not? And so let's not forget, guys, baby gear it's not even a discretionary item. It's mandatory for new parents. And now they're being told that, they'll have to pay double-digit increases because of Washington's trade policies. Well, folks, these aren't random categories. These are the exact imports that trigger emotional buying pain. And the DOJ officials are taking notice. Now, here's the real kicker. Walmart isn't just raising prices on imported goods. Oh, no, that's just tip of the iceberg. They're raising prices on everything. Domestic products, made in America items, all going up. Why? To cover their tracks? Well, stick with me, guys, because I'm going to reveal how Walmart is using a very sneaky tactic called sticker shock smoothing in order to hide the real cost of inflation and what it means for your wallet. So now you might think, hey, okay, they're raising prices, but only on the tariffed imports, right? Wrong. In fact, Walmart has just confirmed that they're raising prices across the board, even on domestic items that were not directly impacted by tariffs. So why are they doing this? Well, they call it mixing the merchandise. But the truth is, it's a strategy designed to hide the real inflation by spreading it around so that you, the customer, don't feel the full sting of a 30% increase on just one item. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is really called sticker shock smoothing, right? Has anyone else, I used to work in retail, and man, some of those days were just endless days. I don't know about you, but retail was so boring, but they had so many different tactics and strategies. And just comment down below if you've ever worked in a retail store. Let me know where you worked. I never worked in Walmart, but I have worked in a Toys R Us warehouse. Also worked in a MJ Designs. Anybody remember that company, MJ Designs? They were kind of like a Pier 1 import, something like that. Anyway, so it's called sticker shock smoothing and kind of works like this. Instead of raising the prices on a baby stroller by 30%, they end up raising the prices on everything else by 5 to 10%, from shampoo to cereal to paper goods, right? Paper towels, right? Now, if they do that, you don't notice it as much, but the total receipt still goes up. So basically, they end up spreading the pain to basically everyone. Now, does that sound fair to you? What if your products that you buy for Walmart were not hit by tariffs? Do you think that you should have to pay more because some other item in the Walmart inventory went up 30% and they're trying to smooth it out so they make everything else go up? Do you feel like you should basically subsidize other people's stuff even though your items were not affected? Because that's essentially what it is. And if you think it feels sneaky, let me know. Just let me know in the comments, because I think that if you feel like it's sneaky, I think it's because it is. The DOJ is watching this very closely, because this is just, it's one thing to respond to economic policy, but it's a whole nother thing to entirely weaponize inflation to quietly manipulate the American public. But let's talk about when this hits you, not if, but when, because it's only a matter of time. Many companies, including Walmart, they have stockpiled inventory way ahead of the tariffs to delay the price hikes. But now those buffers are starting to run out, and they're running out fast. Now, on average, companies had anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks of pre-tariff inventory. That means most of the cheaper stock is already gone. And we may actually start seeing some empty shelves as some people try to basically hoard the lower priced items now before it's too late. So this basically means that most of the cheaper items, most of the cheaper stock is dwindling, or it may be completely gone by the end of May. Mark your calendars, guys. According to Walmart's own CFO, the real price surges will begin to hit in late May. And they're going to become more pronounced in June with a full tariff inflation wave crashing across the country through Q3. Translation: if you think prices are bad, just wait until summer hits. And if you're on fixed income, I feel like the fixed income community is easily the most vulnerable here, because if your income is fixed, but all your expenses are going up, you do the math, right? If you're on a fixed income, let me know in the comments, guys. We're talking food, clothing, school supplies, back to school shopping. All of this is going to cost more money. And it's not just economics anymore. This is getting personal. But here's something that's even more infuriating. While Americans are bracing for these price hikes, there's some corporations, they're still sitting on massive profits, while shareholders are pushing them to squeeze us even harder. And the DOJ, they're watching it all unfold. And it may be them preparing their next move. So what we need to talk about is how these corporate giants like Apple and Target are quietly profiting from early stockpiling, and why shareholder pressure is about to blow this whole thing wide open. So stick with me, guys. So now let's talk about the quiet moves that are made by America's biggest corporations, because you know they saw this coming before you did, right? In the months before tariffs took effect, giants like Apple, Target, Costco, Rivian, they didn't wait around. They stockpiled inventory like there was a storm coming. Apple literally airlifted 1.5 million iPhones from India to dodge tariff deadlines. Target increased inventory by 7%. Costco, 10%. Pharma companies rushed to hoard medications from overseas suppliers. All of them scrambled behind the scenes, not for your protection, but to shield their bottom lines. And now their cheap stock is nearly gone. They're rolling out the price hike in waves. Meanwhile, they're pretending like their hands are tied. So this isn't just business. This is a calculated manipulation of the economy, and Trump's DOJ knows it. But here's the part that's it's really making your blood boil. Now, while corporations, while corporations were holding off on passing these costs on to consumers, it was out of the kindness of their hearts. Psych. This wasn't out of the kindness of their hearts, guys. They did this because they were buying time. But the time is up now. And now Wall Street wants its cut. Shareholders are seeing profits shrinking, and they're putting pressure on CEOs across the board, including Walmart, to jack up the prices fast or face a market sell-off. And what does this mean for you, right? Well, let's do the math. Groceries, clothes, household goods, all rising because they have to. But because corporate boards are answering the hedge funds, they're not answering the hardworking families. And so if you've ever felt like your paycheck is shrinking while corporate bonuses are growing, I want you to understand that this is the reason for that. This is the reason why. This is what Trump's DOJ is aiming to stop. It's not just political corruption, but the economic corruption that's been hiding behind the tariff inflation as a convenient excuse. But folks, hey, the story is far from over, because as soon as Trump found out what Walmart was doing, he went on the offense. What he posted on Truth Social sent shockwaves through the industry, and Walmart was forced to respond within hours. Trump's fiery response, Walmart's damage control, and what this war means, this war of words, rather, and what this really means for corporate America, you don't want to go anywhere, guys, because just when it looked like Walmart might get away with blaming tariffs for everything, President Trump stepped in personally. So over the weekend, Trump took to Truth Social and he called them out by name, basically saying, hey, look, Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices. They should eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. That's a quote coming from Trump's Truth Social. That wasn't just a post. That was a warning shot. And make no mistake, it hit his target. Because guess what? Within hours, Walmart was scrambling to respond. Because when Trump speaks, millions listen, and corporate reputations can crumble overnight. Walmart fired back with a very carefully worded corporate statement. We have always worked to keep our prices as low as possible, and we won't stop. Let's read between the lines. They didn't deny the price hikes. They didn't challenge the DOJ's scrutiny. They simply tried to calm the storm without taking any responsibility. And, well, it's not working. More and more Americans than ever are waking up to the coordinated tactics between corporate America and the global trade policy and Trump's public takedown of Walmart. It just turned the spotlight up to full power. So this is no longer about prices. This is about power. This is about truth. And it's about who really runs this country. Is it the people or is it the profit machines? But here's a twist, guys. Walmart may be just the beginning. Trump's DOJ is already eyeing other retail giants, and the next wave of subpoenas could hit any day now. So, of course, we need to break down what this means for Amazon, for Apple, every company that thought that they were untouchable. Now, this is getting wild. So here's really what's happening behind the scenes, okay? So Trump's DOJ they're not just investigating one company. Now, they're redefining what justice means in the corporate age. For decades, companies like Walmart, Amazon, Apple, they operated with near total impunity, shielded by PR teams and political donations. But under this administration, I think that those days are over. The message from Ed Martin and the DOJ is pretty clear. No one is above scrutiny, not elected officials and not billion-dollar companies and corporations. This is about reclaiming control, not just for our economy, but for our democracy. Because when multinational giants manipulate tariffs, stockpile inventory, and they play inflation like it was a weapon, it's not the market, it's a con. And the DOJ is ready to tear the mask off. So here's what should have the rest of corporate America sweating bullets. If Walmart can get hit, anyone can. The DOJ insiders say that they're already looking at Amazon's pricing strategies, especially how sellers have been quietly increasing prices ahead of tariff deadlines. Apple, remember that $1.5 million, that 1.5 million iPhone airlift? That wasn't patriotism. That was financial defense. This is a sign that they knew what was coming, and they played the system to stay ahead. Target, Costco, even your local pharmacy chains, all of them are now potentially under the microscope. So this is no longer a Walmart story. This is a nationwide investigation into whether corporate America colluded with inflation to squeeze the working class. And Trump's DOJ is assembling a paper trail that could change the way we shop forever. But before I wrap this thing up for you guys, I want to bring it all home, because at the center of this whole storm are real people. You, me, families, seniors, Social Security beneficiaries, parents trying to buy baby formula and car seats. So we need to look at what this DOJ crackdown really means for you, and how this could be the first real pushback against decades of unchecked corporate power. So let's get real for a second, guys. This story is not just about Walmart or Trump or tariffs. It's about you, the average American, the one who just wants to fill up their gas tank, feed their family, and maybe have a little bit of money left over at the end of the month, right? But now that's becoming impossible. Essentials are becoming unaffordable. Baby gear, furniture, electronics, even food. Prices are quietly being raised, not just because of tariffs, but because corporate executives see an opportunity to blame tariffs while padding the profits. It's inflation theater. This is a play basically put on by billionaires, and we're the ones that are paying for the tickets. And so the worst part, most Americans didn't even realize this was happening. Let me know if you didn't realize that this was happening, because it's hidden behind fancy language like inventory buffers and market elasticity. But now the curtain's getting pulled back. The DOJ is watching, the subpoenas are coming, and the excuses are running out. Matter of fact, let me know if you knew this was happening. You had a feeling that this was happening, but this video here just kind of blew the lid off the story for you. So this is exactly the moment that Trump has been preparing for, guys. For years, he warned about globalist manipulation, corporate overreach, media silence, and how the American people are getting played. But now, with his DOJ in full swing, he's putting all that message into action. He's holding corporations accountable. He's calling out price gouging when he sees it. And he's demanding transparency from giants like Walmart, Amazon, and even Apple. So whether you love Trump or not, the truth is this, guys. He's the only major political figure standing up to both big government and big business at the same freaking time. This investigation, it's not just a legal move. It is a populist message that no one, not even the richest companies in America, get to profit by deceiving the people. So where does this go from here? Well, I think that depends on how, or at least how much the DOJ uncovers, like how much the public pushes back and how loud we all get, because the days of silent inflation are over. The tariff smokescreen has lifted, and now it's time for justice. Do you think Walmart should be investigated further? Let me know, guys. Just drop a yes or no. Have you already seen prices jump in your area? Let me know what you're seeing increase, and how much of an increase are you seeing? Oh, and by the way, don't forget to hit the like button for the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an update. I'm going to be tracking this DOJ investigation step by step. And you better believe I'm going to be bringing you all sorts of bombshells as soon as they drop. So this is about the truth. This is about accountability. This is about taking our country back one receipt at a time. If you have not already, hit the link in the description down below. Reach out to Chapter right now. See how much money they can save you on Medicare. In spite of tariffs and inflation, hopefully Chapter can help you save a few dollars, right? Anyway, guys, appreciate you watching. Thanks as always. Stay sharp, stay free, stay tuned.